What's going on, everybody? Real Deal here, and I'm back with another quick impressions. This time we're checking out Genshin Impact, which is it's a hard to describe and figure out game. It's really unique, but also not unique. I've heard it described as like an open world gacha game, which I think makes sense. And at initial impressions and like when I first saw this game, everybody kind of just called it the Chinese Breath of the Wild clone, which initial impressions makes sense, but it's really not a Breath of the Wild clone all that much. Visually, yes, there's some similarities. Breath of the Wild probably looks better.
I guess I could give this a go.
I guess, yeah. I played this on PS4, and I think it had some technical issues even on my PS4 Pro. It didn't
I knew it.
run as good as it could.
Elemental energy coming from
Still
deep
looks
within
good,
this
but it's
temple.
not the level of Breath of the Wild.
Paimon, are you able to float across?
And really, the only other thing I can compare it to
Let's
with Breath of the
ride
Wild
this
is
wind current,
that
shall we?
some of the destruction, fire effects, and wind effects, and that you can sort of climb cliffs and stuff, is like Breath of the Wild, but that's pretty much where the game sort of divides itself from Zelda. But like I said, it has some of the gacha elements from
Leave it
mobile
to me.
games, which I'm not really into mobile games all that much. Like, I don't really play any, so I don't really have the biggest understanding of the genre. But you play as a bunch of different characters, and it's very elemental focused with fire, ice. They call them different things in the game world, but I don't remember them. But you got fire, ice, wind, electricity, some other
It's an
stuff.
electro monument. No wonder.
But it seems like you just collect characters, and they all have their own kind of skill set and abilities.
Let me try to activate it with a bit of electro power. Stand
As
back,
you can
sweeties.
see, Lisa here is electricity. And it's pretty simple combat. Really only mashing the attack button, and once you get like your R2 or your triangle moves unlocked, then you unleash foes. But since it is so like elemental focused, you really try to like balance out your party, which I think adds some variety to it. And I've only played probably like
When it comes to wet enemies,
maybe
I've
3
got them
hours
covered.
of the game, and I still feel like I'm very early on, or very early on in the game. It's free to play, I should mention too, so which is why it's kind of hard to figure out this game. Because it's free to play, so you can't really get too upset that it's a little rough around the edges at times, but it's still a really
Another wind current. Let's ride it
pretty
up from
high
here.
level free to play game. It feels like a AAA mobile game, basically, that's free to play. And as far as I've heard, the kind of paying money towards aspects of the game really don't come too much into the experience until like 20 hours in. So that's pretty for free to play 20 hours of a game for free, basically. And sure, it might be a little bit rougher if you don't actually
Up a little.
pay a little bit, but it's pretty cool. As far as the combat is going, like I said, you just switch characters, and I don't really switch too much here.
If chain lightning can be set off between electrocharged
And Lisa,
opponents,
because there's water, is more
the
effective
electrical
there.
discharge caused by friction
Marika is like the
only a
main
little
character you
less
can
shocking
choose
than
from
love
at the
first
beginning
sight.
between like a brother and sister. And you named the character, so
you
Marika
wanna
is
know
not.
about this gem?
That's just who I named.
You're kidding. You're
Amber's the
seriously
first person
asking?
you get.
This is a vision.
And Kea is part of his like
It's
quest
used
line
by
and
the
stuff you
chosen
also
to draw
get.
on
Same with
elemental
Lisa.
powers. In terms of mysticism, I suppose you could call it a magical lightning rod.
Right there. That was a bullcrap jump right there. I jumped and then the momentum just carried me forward. So it was really annoying. Oh yeah, you got the glider thing too from Breath of the Wild, even though it doesn't. Everything is like Breath of the Wild in some aspects, but it does not control or play nearly as well. But it's also kind of a different game. And the mission I'm on right now is kind of these little mini dungeons, I guess. And they're really not all that tough
You've never
from
seen
what
a
I played.
vision? Just where exactly are you from? Are you a hilly churl with some level of reasonable intelligence? No, I doubt it. After all, hilly churls aren't exactly known for their smarts. And you'd more or less qualify to be a magister's apprentice.
I don't understand who she's talking to. I think she's talking to the player, but the player doesn't say anything, so I don't know.
Break it, and we can head home and relax. The thought of putting my feet
But
up
you
and
also
relaxing
you
has me
unlock
all
you get like
fired
chests
up.
around the world which give you items to
Dragon of
equip
the
everything.
East, Lion of the South, Wolf of the North, Falcon of the West. They are the four winds of Mondstadt, affiliated with Barbados, the god of Anemo. The Dragon of the East, Storm Terror, its real name is Dvalin. Though most in Mondstadt seem to have forgotten that in all this Storm Terror business. So now you know why Dvalin is only able to channel 3 of the four winds' power. Because it has been consuming itself from the beginning. Because of hatred, I presume.
Hatred?
That's Paimon.
Hatred for Mondstadt. Hatred drove it to become
I
something
kind of like
more
Paimon,
powerful
even
than the
though
wind
she's kind of
itself.
annoying.
To become Storm Terror.
But why would one of the four winds hate the city it was supposed to protect?
As a child of Mondstadt, it's something that's really hard to say aloud. Here, take this. It's a very old story from more than a century ago.
And the lip sync isn't really synced at all. Which is, it's fine. Because I'm surprised by how decent the voice acting is. Like, it's still, you know, kind of
You're
a
taking me
JRPG
out.
kind of thing. Where it's very hit and miss. But it's a free to play game from a Chinese developer. And the voice acting ain't horrible, okay? Paimon, I think, is pretty solid for like a cutesy little mascot thing.
Oh, it's finally done. Well, all that lay flow and elemental line stuff Lisa was going on about should hopefully be back to normal. Want to go back and see how the knights are doing? But if you got anything more interesting to do, Paimon can come too. By the way, we obtained
There's a
another
lot of terms
homunculus
too,
in one of the four
and I
winds
just kind of
temples,
skipped
right?
by a lot of
We
it.
might come across more of them in the future, so don't forget to offer them to the statues.
So you rank up your adventurer's rank by just doing stuff in the world. And that's kind of where the free-to-play aspect revolves around. Because your adventurer rank kind of decides... How do I best... It kind of decides, like, what you can do for the most part. Now, it is open world. But the open world, I don't know how open it is right now, because it's kind of hard to navigate it because you don't really have much stamina and you don't really run all that fast. So you just kind of move about the world kind of slowly, which is kind of annoying.
Windblade.
But yeah, just if you just quick look at this game, it looks like Breath of the Wild. It looks nice. It's a nice looking game. But don't expect to be playing Breath of the Wild. That's one of the you should not expect. Because it's really just not that experience. Amber kind of stinks. Because the aiming is not good. It just feels just a little bit not tight enough. It's a little loose. And it takes forever for that bow to get going. And I've seen YouTube videos where there's like tiers list for characters. So you know it's got, like, the gacha elements are there somewhere. I just really haven't found many characters in my time playing. Like, these are the 4 characters I have, and that's it. And maybe I wasn't exploring enough or something like that. But I really didn't find too many other characters. I did find like a really high level enemy, and it kind of kicked my butt. Because it was like a boss type monster. There's the climbing right there. It's not as good. Everything is not as good as Breath of the Wild. Just when you see it, just know it's not as good. But it's kind of similar. But you have quests. Later on, I'll show you the leveling system and kind of the equipment. There's like daily stuff, daily login bonuses you get, and a bunch of currency, which I'm not fully sure what half of it does. There's the kind of map. And I think the red is like not part of the map. Or maybe it is part of the map. I don't know. Yeah, the red is part of the map. So I'm not fully sure how big the world is still. So you got weapons equipped, stuff like that, bunch of random other stuff. Food is your main way for healing, and it's kind of convoluted. There's no easy way to heal. At least from what I've found. I probably should have cut this from the video, but we're here. I guess just my general impressions of this game is it feels like it's hitting, like, a lot of people are really enjoying this game. And I'm kind of like in the middle ground where I'm like, it's not what I expected, but it isn't horrible for something that's free. I just don't see myself diving into it because it just doesn't play as well as I would like, or the way I like it.
I'll put you on high heat. Let's move.
Like, I feel like the combat's a little stiff depending on the character. The dodge is a little bit unreliable because it's the same but a sprint, so it's kind of annoying. But this is like a weird, maybe kind of boss fight I got into here. And you really want to use the elements to your advantage. That fire dude, it takes a while for me to beat him because I don't have anybody that can counterbalance fire at the moment.
Almost.
That's cheating.
And my character, half my characters died.
Raining.
Disgusting. You need to hurry up. Let's end this quickly.
So like I said, that fire guy, it takes me a while to beat him. Lightning guy, I think I overcharge him with Lisa at some point here.
Going
Maybe I
out
don't.
is
I don't know.
tiring.
And I think the elemental stuff is really cool because it does like play with each other. Like if you do like a wind attack with a fire enemy, it makes the fire spread all over. And you do like a fire tornado. So elements kind of work in hand with each other. I just don't have too many characters really exploit that at this moment in time. Music kind of similar, like it's that little dun-dun-dun-dun, that's like totally from Breath of the Wild.
This was well done. Oh, so sorry. Let's end this quickly.
And the characters, you level them up to level 20 at the point I am right now, but then you can like move them, you can ascend them to the next level. Marika is really my only like level 20 character at this point. Yeah, I don't have anybody that's good against this fire guy, so I do cut pretty much most of this fight because he gets stuck on the rocks that are out of bounds for the game, and it turns into a really annoying scenario. Who would have thought? And I don't even have Lisa leveled up at all. She's level 2, so I do level her up later on because she is like a hot librarian. So you gotta have that person in your party. Why wouldn't you? So yeah, I just cut most of the fight just near the end of this battle, which takes forever. And there you go. Now I can unlock the chest. I don't even know if I get anything good. As far as like if you should play this game, it's free to play, so I guess give it a try. I mean, at the very least, if you really like an anime styling, I think you're more likely to definitely like this. And I do like my stuff to be more anime-like. I don't know if the gameplay is exactly what I want. And maybe I just need to find that specific character that just becomes my waifu or something. I don't know. But I think I might give it a couple more, like an hour or two more, just to see how it turns out. But I don't know if I'll be sticking with it. But I do think it's a decent free-to-play game. It's got stuff you can invest in and all that. This is like the equipment stuff, so you got a bunch of random stuff you can equip that increases defense, just other bonuses, HP. No cosmetic. It doesn't cosmetically impact your character, but there might be cosmetics for your character. I don't know. Probably haven't unlocked that part yet. And the stuff that you equip on your, or slot on your characters, I haven't really noticed too much of it impacting the actual gameplay, but once you get like legendary stuff, maybe it really starts to impact things. And there's like skills and other stuff you can check out, but I haven't unlocked them at this point either. So leveling up is basically you use these like cards or whatever, and it gives experience to your characters. So I level up Lisa a bit because, like I said, she's a hot librarian. So why wouldn't you? She also says this really weird line. It's really can really be taken as really horny, and I know it's kind of out of character for a hot librarian who's kind of like supposed to be like a MILF type of character. I don't know. I don't know if I actually remember. I don't think I recorded it, but she said something that really just took me by surprise. But getting back to if you should play this. It's free to play. It's okay as far as the free to play stuff, and depending on if you kind of like the systems going on, there's some interesting aspects of the open world where you can get like quests and stuff like that, and I do get one right here. I think it's definitely a game you should give a try, just to see. And I hit a wall there. Isn't that great? Just to see if it's something you would enjoy. But the gameplay it has some good stuff to it, but it's still not tight enough where I think it's really engaging gameplay. And the characters and everything are okay, I guess. The world's really convoluted, I think, because they really just dump you into this world. And I gotta think Genshin Impact is like a really popular free-to-play Chinese game that already has like a big mobile game and huge universe of characters. I feel like that's what's going on. I probably could have just looked it up, but anyways, I think I'll just wrap up the video right here. It doesn't really show you too much on the game, kind of like a little bit of the exploration, just the way combat can unfold. But Genshin Impact, pretty interesting release at the very least. It's coming at an odd time because it's right before PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series comes out. But it's also kind of during a dead spot, so I think this game has actually garnered a lot of attention that I didn't expect. But it's definitely a memorable release from this year, and I don't know if we'll be talking about it in 3-4 months, but it's interesting, at least right now. But I've been Real Deal. This has been Genshin Impact. And this has been a quick impression of Genshin Impact. And let me know what you think of the game. I'm sure I was wrong about a couple of things here, because I'm not that far into the game, like I said. But overall, pretty cool release. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's free to play, so you can give it a try. It might have some stuff you don't like about it, but you can always just undownload it. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.